Alright, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today, but we're going to start out with what you guys probably came here for, the Orlando Pro Prejudging. So, to be completely honest, there really hasn't been a whole lot of footage or pictures at all from the Orlando Pro, and to the best of my knowledge, there wasn't a stream, and if there was, I couldn't find it. But this is what we do have. In the top four appears to be Hassan Mustafa, Phil Klahar, Max Charles, and Andrea Presti. So from what I can see, I think that Phil Klahar looks really good here. It looks like Hassan is probably going to win this show as well, based on what I can see. Again, what we've got is really not the highest quality footage, but Hassan looks pretty good here. And again, admittedly, the footage is not the best, but from what I can see, Hassan looks like he did enough. But the guy that really has drawn my attention and really caught my eye, again, is Phil Klahar. He's the guy in the green trunks. He's the taller black guy. He really impressed me last year at the Tampa Pro with his conditioning, with his size, and he's doing kind of the same thing here. From what I can see, Phil is in really good shape. He's a bigger guy. He's a taller guy. Your eyes are drawn to him on stage just because of his sheer stage presence, but once you look at him, you see what kind of shape the guy's in. And while the footage might not be the best, from what I can see, my top three would be Hassan in first. I think Phil should be in second, just based on what I've seen. Max Charles looks all right here. It's really hard to tell how he's really looking from a conditioning standpoint because, again, the quality's not the best. But I would probably have Max in third and Andrea Presti in fourth. But all in all, I really think Hassan's going to win this, but we're really just going to have to wait till finals and get some better quality pictures and videos because there really has not been much, to be honest with you guys. And I don't know if, based on what I've seen from Hassan so far, if it looks like he looks better than he looked in Puerto Rico, but I think he looks comparable here. And I do think that he looks good and probably good enough to win this show. I think if he does win this show, and he has the potential to go on and win the Arnold Classic UK in September, if he could go to the Olympia off of 3 professional wins this season, I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on Hassan when he gets that Olympia stage in December. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Based on what you can see, who do you think is winning? I think it's pretty clear that Hassan's going to win this one, but who knows? It's really hard to tell. Now, next up in the news, Larry Wheels potentially switching over to Classic Physique. Now, this is an interesting one. He posted this posing video, which I don't believe is super recent because it is in zoo culture, and I don't think he's in the States right now. But the caption was interesting. He says, "I would like to try classic bodybuilding poses. I think my physique suits that division much better than open bodybuilding poses." So we know that he already tried in men's open bodybuilding. He made it to nationals. He did all right, but he obviously didn't get a pro card there. He stayed as an amateur. But I believe Larry is 6'1". So the weight restriction for 6 foot to 6'1", if he falls in between those two, would be up to 230 pounds or 104 kilos. Now, if he's a little bit over 6'1", 6'1 to 6'2 is up to and including 240 pounds or 109 kilos is what he could weigh on stage. Now, Larry is a lot heavier than that. And that's the problem that a lot of these classic guys, I mean, we just saw it with Horse MD running into problems as far as the weight restriction is concerned. That would be the biggest thing for Larry. And those are the pro weight caps. In the NPC, which is what Larry would be doing, is 10 pounds lighter. So 6'1 to 6'2 is only up to 230 pounds, and 6 foot to 6'1 is only up to 220. So if he is 6'1 or under, he could only weigh 220 pounds on stage, which I have a hard time believing Larry could get down to 220. Now, he might be over 6'1, but I think he is like right around that area. So I'm not entirely sure, but even 230 seems kind of low for Larry. But so I don't know how realistic it would be for him to actually compete in Classic Physique, but I do think his body is suited for some of those classic poses. He's got a good V-taper. He's got really big wide shoulders, he's got a really big wide back, and he's got a pretty tapered small waist. His legs might not be the biggest, but that's not as important in classic. It's pretty important, but not as important as it is in bodybuilding. And we've seen historically that in Classic Physique, taller physiques seem to do well. In over 6 foot, anybody over 6 foot in bodybuilding is a taller bodybuilder. So if you're asking me, would I like to see Larry try Classic Physique? My answer is hell yeah. I would love to see Larry compete again, whether it's Classic Physique or bodybuilding. So if he's excited about Classic Physique, then definitely I would like to see him do it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Larry Wheels and Classic Physique. Do you want to see it? Is it a good fit? Yes or no? Now, next up in the news, speaking of crossover competitors, Bryan Jones, a.k.a. Lord Jones, who's coming over from Classic Physique to the men's open bodybuilding division. He's working on putting on size to get into that category. And he posted an off-season physique update where he looks crazy impressive here. Looks like he's put on a pretty significant amount of size. He says he's sitting at 254 pounds. Now, his last update back in March, he was weighing 244. So even though that's only 10 pounds of muscle, he looks significantly bigger to me. And again, he looks a lot along the lines, he's a taller guy. So to me, he's always kind of reminded me of like a Cedric McMillan type of physique. And I think in men's open bodybuilding, that's kind of going to be the route that he takes. And that's kind of going to be the place that he'll fill. This is one that I'm really excited to see because he carries a really good amount of size. I think conditioning is going to be the thing that I'm curious to see how he does because, again, he had these weight restrictions in Classic Physique and he was a bigger guy in that division. So maybe it was him trying to make weight for Classic that screwed up his conditioning in the first place. Maybe having that restriction lifted in men's open bodybuilding, maybe that'll, fare better for his conditioning. But my feeling on this is I think he's going to hit the ground running when he makes the switch. I think he's going to do very well in men's open bodybuilding. And I think whatever his debut is going to be, I think he said he's waiting until 2023 so he can actually have enough time to put on some significant size. I think he's going to do very well, and he's a guy that I'm very excited to see make his men's open bodybuilding debut. But let me know what you guys think about him as well. Lord Jones in men's open. Do you think the switch from Classic was a good idea or not? Now, next up in the news, we've got another physique update from Vlad Suhorchko, who is 1.5 weeks out from this Mr. Big Evolution show. And I got to be honest, man, this kid looks crazy. He's in his early 20s. I believe he's 24 or 25. And the improvements that he's made and the size that he's put on, I think just because he's not like a United States-based guy, his name isn't as big as like a Nick Walker or a Hunter Labrada. And he doesn't yet have the competitive resume that either of those two guys have. But this guy has an insane physique for his age. For as young as he is and as new as he is, he looks crazy. And not only that, but his conditioning here looks nuts for 1.5 weeks out. He's crazy vascular. The dude, I think he's going to be really impressive at this show. And I think he's going to wow a lot of people when he wins. He's going up against guys like Tim Budashim, Peter Clancy. There's really good bodybuilders in this lineup. But seeing these updates from Vlad, I think this kid looks insane, and I think he's going to win this show and beat some really good guys. I think this Mr. Big show could be like the breakout show for him that gets him to the Olympia, and we might be able to get him in a call-out at the Olympia with Nick Walker, Hunter Labrada, Ian Valliere, some of these younger guys that are in like a similar stature as him, similar age range, similar experience level. I don't know, man. Just to me, he looks a lot better than the last time that we saw him on stage. It looks like he's really made some improvements, and I think people are going to be shocked when he steps on stage at this Mr. Big show. And the final story that I've got for you guys today, the latest update from GoodVito. It's not much of an update, but you get to see him posing a little bit here now that he lives in Brazil. And it seemed like it was going to be forever when he first moved to Brazil to when he made his amateur debut in the NPC. He's going to be trying to get his pro card there in Brazil. That's why he moved there, to kind of facilitate the process. So I guess he wouldn't have to worry about traveling or whatever. But he will be trying in September to get his pro card. It's a lot closer than it seems. And again, at the time that he moved there, it seemed like September was forever away. But here we are now, just a couple months. But that's the video for now. I'm going to be back with you guys later tonight whenever we get these final results from the Orlando Pro. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you have not subscribed yet already. If you guys want to see the results from that show, like the video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out.